Well, that was a trip. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay. I got the baby over here doing his thing, and I had my burner up too high. So let's start all over. We are making caramel corn. I have got my popcorn going back here. I'm getting ready to put that in. We're going to start that all over. And what you do is you put enough popcorn in the bottom of your pan and enough oil, and then you cover it. I want that really coated good. Now I'm going to set that on like a medium high. Don't want that on high. I've got my caramel. I've got it going right here. And that is my brown sugar, my Karo syrup, and my stick of butter. I've got that boiling. As soon as it stops, after I take it off of here, I'm going to add vanilla and some baking soda. It's real easy, guys. Now, this popcorn, don't be afraid to do this. I just had my burner up too high. Ugh, that was going to be a mess. See, it's already popping. And have you ever, when you were little, your mama took that pan and she would shake it and carry on? You don't have to do that. Leave it alone. It's popping. See, it's popping. It's doing what it's supposed to do. So let me get this ready. While that's doing that, caramel corn is very easy. And then you can also add nuts to it and make like Cracker Jacks. So I know what's going on with all this COVID and stuff now. Here's what it's doing. It's boiling. Can you see this? It's boiling really good. Well, I boiled it for 5 minutes. Got this popping, this going. So I'm going to turn this off. I want my caramel turned off. Stirring it, see how nice that looks. All I'm going to have to do to this is add my my baking soda, which is a ½ teaspoon, and then a ½ teaspoon of soda. There's my ½ teaspoon of soda and my ½ teaspoon of vanilla. And that's your caramel. But what I was going to say was, if you're making bags for anybody in your family, I'm going to go ahead and turn that eye off because my popcorn is popping all the way to the top now. I want to just turn it off. The caramel is ready. And let me tell you something. If you're going to make some dishes, some treats, for Halloween, for grandchildren, nieces, nephews, neighbors, or whoever, go buy you some little toys and wrap them up, and you can put it in a caramel ball, a popcorn ball, or if you're going to do bags, let me show you what I got. I just got some of these little bags like this at the Hobby Lobby. It's got some leaves on it. Doesn't say anything about Thanksgiving, trick-or-treat, or Halloween or anything. And I'm just going to put them in these bags. They're good and sturdy. And you can drop a little treat in it. Make it like a Cracker Jack box. And then just staple it closed. Real simple to make. So, what I'm going to do now, my popcorn has popped. Woo-hoo-hoo! Look how easy peasy that was. And then I'm going to take my another piece of parchment paper. You all, I just don't know what I was thinking. Where the scissors are now either. Here they are. We're going to put that caramel on the popcorn. Got everything turned off. Where's my other pan? Well, I'm just as lost as I can be. Okay. I'm going to lay this popcorn out like this. See how pretty that is? And it's not microwave. Look at there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our caramel. Look at there. There that is. I'll get me a little pot holder. And we're going to drizzle this with the caramel. And like I said, you can put nuts on it if you want. That popcorn is over there still popping. See how simple that was? I was making it awfully hard there for a minute. I had my burner up too high. I know better than that, especially when I'm trying to multitask. So what's going to happen is this is going to go in the oven. I'm going to do it for 15-minute intervals. Get my nuts. You don't have to do peanuts, but I like the peanuts myself. I like to try and make it like the Cracker Jacks. So, just going to throw a few peanuts on here, not a whole lot. Now we're going to stick it in the oven, and I'm going to stick it in there for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to get it all mixed up, and then I'm going to stick it back in. I'm going to do that 4 times. 4th time, I'll take it out, let it cool, and you can make it into a ball, or you can put it in a bag, and I'm probably just going to put it in a bag and not do the popcorn ball. But let's get that stuck in the oven so it can do its thing. There's my other pan. I was wondering where that was. So I'm going to get another hunk of parchment paper here. Y'all, this parchment paper is pretty cheap. You can get it at anywhere. You can get it at any grocery store, or you can get it like at Marshall's, TJ Maxx, or something like that, and get it real cheap. I'm not into the name brand thing. Don't care what company it's by on that. I'll throw some more popcorn out here. I got Miss Nella across the street. Got Mr. Steve next door. Got the kids in Newburgh. Lauren said she'd like to have some. So all I have to do with this now is make some more caramel. And I got my stove full. I've got green beans going for supper tonight. Bring this booger back over here. That's good. Let me get another stick of butter. We're going to make another batch. I'm going to make us another batch of it. I could do about half, but I won't. I'll go ahead and make this. And oh, y'all want to see my baby? You got to see my baby again. Come here. Y'all, look at this preciousness. Look at little baby. Oh, I just love him so. He's just so sweet. Oh, I gotta wash my hands again. So yeah, that caramel corn, you know, y'all remember when we were little and you had a favorite little old lady in the neighborhood that made some kind of wonderful homemade something or another for you to have for Halloween. It's just a shame that we can't do that anymore, isn't it? It's just a shame. But if you're gonna give it to people you know, then there's no harm there, and they know you and shouldn't have a problem with it. Cup of sugar, cup of brown sugar. Get that going. A half a cup of kiddos syrup. Yeah, it's a shame that things aren't the way it used to be, and everybody's afraid, and my spatula went off too. No, I've lost my mind. Here's a spatula. This baby is crying and carrying on. There we go. But yeah, if you've got a church function that your church is having something, or you can always put your name on it. Put a little tag on it. Say that this is from Miss Kim. That way they'll know where it came from, and they won't be afraid to let their children have it. It's just horrible how it is nowadays, but anyway. But I just thought this is such a good idea. I'm gonna let this boil for 5 minutes. So I got a stick of butter, a half a cup of brown sugar, a cup of brown sugar, a half a cup of kiddos syrup. After this boils for 5 minutes, then you just add a half a teaspoon of soda and a half a teaspoon of vanilla, and pour it over your popcorn. And like I said, you can add nuts to it. You can add walnuts, you can add pecans, you can add Spanish nuts, you can have whatever you want. I just got plain old peanuts. And that caramel will get on those peanuts and caramelize them, and they will be delicious. Matt wants caramel dip, huh? And give them to the tricker. Caramel dip onions? Oh my Lord, he's a mess. Irene, what you gonna do with him? So that is cooled off. So I'm gonna set this down here. Get rid of that pan. Improvise, improvise. Let's see if you all can see this over here. I made, I've got green beans. I'll get my pot holder and I'll show you what I got. I had snapped some green beans this summer, so I had those in the freezer. Spanking. And so I put a ham hock in my green beans, some salt and pepper, and I'm just letting them let them boil for a little while, and then I've got them just simmering. I'm simmering those right now, and I'll put some potatoes in there in a little while. And we're going to have some pork chops and green beans and potatoes for supper. And I may make some cornbread. So anyway, so we're boiling. We've got 3 more minutes to boil. And boiling doesn't mean that you have to put it on high. I've got it on number 8, which I can actually turn it down to about a 7, and it'll be fine. It'll still boil. It's still boiling here. I'm pulling in the leftovers from the first batch. Don't do no harm at all. I'll let that boil for 5 minutes. Y'all, I keep eating what's on the outside of this. It's delicious. So anyway, I've only got a little bit of popcorn here to do. I'm going to put some of this on here, and then when I pull this out in a few minutes, I'm going to add more to it. And I'm going to go ahead and add some peanuts to to this one. Of course, if anybody has a peanut allergy, you don't get to have the Cracker Jacks. Not the Cracker Jack. Cracker Jack would be with the peanut. So anyway, we're doing the caramel corn. Pop my popcorn on top of the stove, and poured the mixture over my popcorn. Stuck it in the oven. Stick it in there for 15 minutes. It's supposed to cook for an hour, and it's cooking that caramel onto the popcorn. So that's what we're doing. I've got 1 more minute, and this will be ready to go. And we'll add the vanilla, which I'm almost out. I've got to get some more vanilla, and a teaspoon of this soda. Half teaspoon, sorry, half teaspoon. It is done. Turn that off. I'm going to let that cool down just a tiny little bit. Not cool down, but just get that turned off and get that. Woo, laws, y'all, it is rainy and nasty out, and it's got my arthritis acting a fool. Hate it. Okay. All right, we're going to add a teaspoon of soda. I know it, little one, I know. Somebody's done you wrong. And a half a teaspoon of vanilla. Ooh, that made it mad. Ha 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 ha. Stir that up real good. Stir it up real good. It won't stop. So that's what it looks like. It's caramel. We're going to drizzle this over that popcorn there. Oh, I know it. Pitiful. Alright, that's about all that one's going to need. So we're going to stick this one in the oven. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, it's pretty. It's pretty caramel corn there. So we're going to take a spatula. Going to move it around. It's going to, can't really stir it, but just move it around. This is from, this is my Aunt Myrtle's recipe, so this would be Matthew Johnson, your Aunt Myrtle's recipe, Mel Johnson, and Shireen. This is our aunt's recipe. It's the only recipe of hers I've got. I didn't get much of my Aunt Myrtle's. Well, I actually didn't get anything of my Aunt Myrtle's when she passed away, and me and the boys were the only ones on her side of the family that were living. But her husband's side of the family went ahead and took all of her things, and man, all I was wanting was a cookbook. So look, so I've got all that mixed up. Now I'm going to pop this back in the oven. 15 minutes. So about 2:15, I'll take it out and do it again. I'll keep on doing it, but that's it. And when I finish with it, I'll take a picture of it and I'll put it on here and let you all see it. And yeah, and he's quite the talker. He's in the middle of the floor now. He's mad. But that's what we've got going on today. I'm gonna fix I've got my green beans, and what I did was I just took them right out of the freezer and I washed them, because when I put them in, when I froze them, I just snapped them. I didn't wash them or anything because I didn't want them going into the freezer wet, because that would cause freezer burn. So I took them out, gave them a good washing, put them in a pot with a ham hock and some salt and pepper. I let them boil up a little bit, and then I've simmered, and they've been simmering all day. I think I put them on this morning about 10 o'clock, and I'm just going to let them cook all day long on low and slow. And here in a little while, I don't know, probably about 4 or 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock maybe, I'll cut up some potatoes and put in there, and that'll be good. I don't want to put them in there now, they'll just fall apart. Potatoes don't take long to cook. So anyway, that's what we're doing today. And if you all have got a function going on in your family or something like this is fun to make and to give to everybody. Everybody likes Cracker Jacks, and you can also, you know, go to the Dollar Tree or go somewhere, get some spiders or something and put in there, or put something in there as a prize. And that's all I got for you. So you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I love you all. And I'll talk to you later. Toodle-oo.